Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our class, our presentation tonight on Ho'oponopono, a powerful tool for cleaning. Get my notes together, goodness me. And I am Eileen, the heart healer, and it's my real joy and pleasure to have you share your hearts with this group tonight. I am passionate about Ho'oponopono beyond words of expression, and it has been a lifesaver for me, and it has been my soul's purpose to share it with as many people as will listen to me. So I'm grateful that we have a good group in the house tonight, and I get to share it with a whole bunch of you. And I'm grateful that a few of the people in my membership community are here tonight, and that is a great joy. Welcome. If you would mute out, I don't want to mute everyone out, so just mute yourself out so that if you have anything going on in your background that it won't disturb. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is what we're going to do tonight. I love beginning our gatherings with the reading of a prayer. It's by Morrnah Simeona, who is the founder of Self-Identity through Ho'oponopono, or who created the updated version of it. And then we're going to do a 7-breath ha sequence. And then I will offer you some information about what Ho'oponopono is, how you can benefit from it, how you can get started pretty much right away. We will open for questions and answers. At about an hour, we'll complete the session for those that want to leave with another 7 ha breath sequence, and then the reading of the Peace of I. These are 2 prayers that were brought forth by Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona, and I just find them to be a wonderful way of opening a portal of loving presence, connecting within, connecting with ancestors, connecting with all that is, and then when we do it the second time, that breath can be for you after listening for a while and feeding your inner child and your heart from that. And then or you can direct that next sequence to benefit someone else. We always benefit ourselves first. And then the Peace of I, also a prayer through Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona, that to me is just like a blanket of peace is being wrapped around everyone to complete our time together. All right, so let's begin with the I am the I. Welcome, Leslie, and whoever else joined us. Okay, I am the I. I'm wondering if I should mute everyone out so that when they come in, they'll be muted. I think I'll do that. Okay, that way when people come in, it won't disturb anyone. Okay, I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, that hollowness beyond all consciousness, the I, the id, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds and matters. I am the incoming and outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breeze, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I. And the I represents the divine creator, divine intelligence, your creator, however you call it, and by whatever meaning or belief you put on that presence, your source. So the ha breath is you take your first 2 fingers, connect with your thumb, and then connect them together, creating an infinity symbol. So first 2 fingers, connect them to the thumbs, and then connect. so that your fingers are then connected, creating an infinity symbol. Okay. Yeah, you got it. All right, 2. And then just open and connect them. Just gently lay your hands on your lap, uncross ankles and knees. The breath is in through the nose and out through the nose. You breathe into the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, breathe out for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7. That's 1 breath, and repeat it 7 times. Begin. And if you don't remember it, don't worry about it. Breathe into the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, breathe out for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, and then repeat that 7 times. Please begin. Okay. So, Ho'oponopono. Tell me, if you would, share with me when you get a chance to come back. Share with me, if you will, in the chat, how many of you are familiar with Ho'oponopono? You've either read a book on it, or you've attended a class on it, or you've studied it. Just type yes in the chat, if you will. Yeah, take a couple minutes or a few moments to come back into your body. Okay, thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you. All right, Priscilla, thank you. Thank you. Great. Elise, Jackie, thank you. KD, thank you. Shirley, Linda, thank you. All right. All right. So the majority of you are familiar. Is anybody not familiar with Ho'oponopono? And this is their first representation or first experience of it, to learn a little bit about it. Anybody? You can raise your hand if you want to, or just type in the chat. Yes, Leslie, great. Thank you. Leslie's sharing that, yes, she has learned it with me. Right. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. If you're able to, oh, Pat, thank you. Are you Chance or are you Pat? Shall I assume you're Pat? Okay, great. Thank you. And Priscilla, we don't need to be an expert. I'm just looking for level of awareness. If there's anybody in the group that is absolutely not knowing anything about it, because I want to really honor them. But I think that everybody's got the basics, so that's a good thing. All right, so I'm going to close the chat here. Okay. So then you all know that Ho'oponopono is the ancient Hawaiian problem-solving process, that as an ancient process, the Hawaiians came in believing that they were born into this life to atone for everything that happened before them. And the initial phrases that Ho'oponopono is known by are I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you might have learned that in a different order, and it all works. So you don't have to worry about whether you're saying it quote unquote correctly. There is no right or wrong here. Anything that I share tonight is going to be my understanding of Ho'oponopono and how I have been guided to share it. Because I don't have a script. This is just all from my heart to share with you, okay? I love this process, as you can probably tell. And I have found that it is so incredibly powerful that it's one of those things like a good movie that you just want to keep sharing it with people so that they'll watch it and they'll enjoy it as much as you are, right? So we as human beings, we're not born with the philosophy that we are here to atone for, not out of guilt or shame, just because that's part of why we're here, is to atone for whatever happened in the time before we came in, our ancestors, whether you believe in more than one lifetime. So perhaps it would have been another lifetime. But I like to think of it more in terms of that ancestral lineage that the ancient Hawaiians, as most indigenous cultures are, very connected to and honoring of, as well as the earth and all of the cosmos. We can learn much from the indigenous cultures, to say the least. Our technology is wonderful. It helps us to connect with each other, to be able to connect across waters and countries, right? But the truth is that energetically, we are all connected. But we come into this lifetime, most of us, believing that we are isolated and separate from each other, when in fact that is not true. From an energetic perspective, based on quantum physics, we're all energy. Even though this body feels solid, we're all energy, and we are all indeed connected. And so when you have a problem, I can clean on it, because my seeing you having a problem is based on my perception of you. As a problem-solving process, it's all self-contained, and it's all about memories replaying from our own subconscious mind, and whether we experience those memories replaying as a problem or as an inspiration, an inspired thought, a creative idea. Everything in Ho'oponopono boils down to those two experiences. And once we know whether we're in an inspiration or a problem, we then get a choice. Do we engage with the problem, or do we clean on it? Engage or not to engage. My teacher, Ihaleakala Hew Len, would say, he was very, very loving of Shakespeare, and he would make a lot of Shakespearean references. Not my favorite author, but he definitely had a lot to say. And when you look at the way Ihaleakala looked at his phrases that he was most known for, it's amazing how they can relate to Ho'oponopono, and how Ho'oponopono really can be related to so much of our cultures without even realizing it. So the phrase to be or not to be, that is the question. I've changed it. He refers to it as to be or not to be free of memories replaying. I love to use that phrase, to engage or not to engage. That is the question. And the result is either that we experience suffering because we're engaging with whatever the problem is, or we choose to clean and we minimize our suffering in this human experience, right? So my teacher learned from Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona, Kahuna Lapa'au. She was an amazing divine person. And at 3 years old, her mother, who was a kahuna as well, she basically told her mother that she was ready for her training as a kahuna. So you can imagine this woman was awake to her spirit, to all that she was connected to from the time that she was born. She never went to sleep, right? And so in the 1970s, around 1972, she was guided in a meditation to update the ancient version of Ho'oponopono to what we now know it as, which is self-I-identity, self-identity through Ho'oponopono. And the difference, the primary difference is that in the ancient version, it was a facilitated process, as I mentioned, either by the head of the household or by the local kahuna or spiritual leader. In this way, it's all self-contained. We don't need anyone to facilitate it. In the ancient version, everyone involved with the problem had to be present. Everyone had to say, remember the 4 phrases, everyone had to express, I love you to everyone. Everyone had to say, I love you, I'm sorry. Everyone had to say, I'm sorry for whatever I did to disrupt our peace, to contribute to this problem. Everyone had to say, I'm sorry for whatever I did to contribute to this problem. And everyone had to express gratitude for each other. And until everybody could do that, that process didn't end. So you can imagine it might have been a little confrontational, right? So when we consider self-identity through Ho'oponopono, it's very different. There is no one facilitating it. It is all me, myself, and I. And because we're all connected, every time I do my cleaning, whoever is holding that same energy that is that problem is blessed with that energy being cleaned from them as well. Because no one's human experience is that unique when you get right down to it, right? We all have similar problems. We might experience them differently. They may look different, but when it comes right down to the core of it all, I think we all share, no matter whose body we're in, right? Or what body we're in, we share very common human experiences. And I think that that's important to recognize. I think of Ho'oponopono as a PSA, right? Instead of a public service announcement, I think of it as a public service act. The more we do our own initiation of the cleaning of whatever the memories are that are replaying, that are our problem that we're experiencing, the more we are supporting humanity, our families, our ancestors, our neighbors, our communities, our countries, our world, our planet, the cosmos. We are one presence. And it's good to keep reminding ourselves of that we're not alone, even though the illusion of being human gives us that feeling of being separate and alone. So, any questions about anything that I've shared so far? If so, raise your hand, please, and you can unmute yourself before we move on to the next step. Everybody's good? Excellent. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And hopefully, all right, here we go. Oops. Trying to get this to move. Hold on a minute. Okay. All right, Sherry Louise, I can see you. Can you give me a thumbs up that says that you can see my screen? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't know how to make this smaller. How do I make this smaller? Hold on. Well, okay. I'm just going to go with this and trust that whatever needs to be seen is seen. What I'm going to share with you now are 4 diagrams from the document Who's in Charge by Ihaleakala Hew Len. These are also diagrams that are part of the IZI-LLC program, which is Morrnah Simeona's legacy, the way that she taught self-identity through Ho'oponopono. And we're going to go through this very briefly, but I want you to have a foundational piece for this so that it makes more sense to you. And I will be happy to put a link in. I think I can put a link in. If I can't, I'm going to send everyone a link in an email after the class with the Who's in Charge document. This is an excerpt from Ihaleakala Hew Len's journal. And it gives some wonderful explanations, his feelings, and the way he likes to look at and describe the different components of self-identity through Ho'oponopono. I think that they're very valuable. I find that I've read it over and over and over again, and each time it helps to reinforce for me exactly what different parts of this mean, which helps me to be in the experience of choosing to do the cleaning more and more, which is the goal here. So diagram 1, this is our goal, right? To be in a state of void. These are the components of self-identity. Divine intelligence, that is our creator energy, which is the infinite. The superconscious mind, which in Hawaiian is referred to as the Aumakua. The conscious mind, referred to as Uhane. And the subconscious mind, which is referred to as the Unihipili. When we're in the state of void, all of these aspects of self-identity are connected. The I represents the divine intelligence or divine creator. Now, also, in the psychology of the mind, the superconscious mind is referred to as the father. The conscious mind is referred to as the mother, and the subconscious mind is referred to as the inner child. And Hew Len would share that, you know, the most important and most significant relationship in Ho'oponopono that we can develop is the one with our inner child. Because the inner child has been in charge of these memories replaying from the collective subconscious mind of humanity since the beginning of creation, with no one saying thank you because no one knew that they existed. So you can imagine that that part of us has been feeling a bit neglected. And so the way that he recommends that we develop a relationship with our inner child is to lovingly connect with them, not in an abrupt or an assertive way, but to lovingly speak to them like a small child. But they are anything but a small child. Remember, they're in charge of all the memories replaying from our subconscious mind, which basically are the root, the essence of all of our experiences as human beings. So this is the state of void. From the state of void, we're connected to source energy, we're at peace, there are no questions. It's that place of being that is just bliss, it's silence, it's pure unconditional love. And from this place of connectedness, which we can hold for probably a millisecond at a time as human beings, God or divine intelligence breathes into us or inspires us with creative ideas, creative thought, inspiration, the idea for a book, a creative art form, whatever that might be for each and every one of us. And so in the state of inspiration, divine intelligence, remember, represented by the I, is imbued in all the different aspects of self-identity. And everything has stayed connected. So this represents, this image on the left, the diagram, the state of inspiration. And we can hold that state of inspiration for as long as we can until a memory replays that we experience as a problem. And what happens here is the M with the circle and the hook, this represents memories replaying that we're experiencing as a problem. The memories hook the conscious mind. And so now we're aware that we have a problem. Or we hold a belief that somebody else has a problem, which is our problem because they have a problem, right? And so what happens is that experience of a problem, whether it be physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, creates a separation between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, which are always connected, from the superconscious mind and divine intelligence. Superconscious mind is always connected to divine intelligence, always aware, and always aware of what's going on in the conscious and the subconscious mind. But the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are disconnected from that part of us, that higher sense of wisdom, shall we say. And so what do? Remember what we started with. We either engage or not. If we engage with the problem, what that means is we're trying to figure it out. We're asking questions about it. We want to understand it so that we can solve it. But there's a wonderful statistic, and it's from the book, The User Illusion by Tor Noratranders. And in that book, he shares that for every 15 bits of data per second that we are consciously aware, I thought I turned my phone off, forgive me. Okay. That for every 15 bits of data that we are consciously aware of per second, there are 15 plus million bits of data per second that we have no knowledge of. 15 bits to 15 plus million bits of data. This is what we're conscious of, 15 plus million, we don't have any knowledge of. So when we engage with a problem that is memories replaying from our subconscious mind, the part of the mind that we don't have conscious connection to, hence the reason it's called subconscious, we're engaging with something that we are never going to be able to know the all of. So it becomes futile, which is why we get stuck in patterns, whether they're physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, that we find so frustrating that we can't seem, no matter what processes we're choosing or trying or working on, nothing shifts, whatever the problem is that we are having. And that's why. And the beauty of Ho'oponopono is that it addresses what we don't know. Because the part of us, the divine intelligence part of us, knows. So we're not doing the cleaning. We are initiating the cleaning to be done by divine intelligence. And divine intelligence then transmutes whatever the memories are that are the source of the problem. Okay? So let's go through the problem-solving process. So we have identified that there's a problem. The memories have replayed. It's hooked the conscious mind. We've identified that we have a problem. We've either physically felt it, or we have an emotion that doesn't feel good, or a thought that doesn't feel good, or something like that. So what do we do for the problem-solving part of it? Now, remember the 4 phrases in the ancient version. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. The repentance and the forgiveness part of it are the problem-solving part of it. The rest of it, this part is what's assumed. And all you really have to say is, I love you, or thank you, or both. Or you can say all 4 phrases, whatever you feel inspired to do. So here, step 1 is the conscious mind realizes that it's having a problem, that memories have hooked it into whatever has been replaying. And so what happens next is we initiate a Ho'oponopono cleaning. And so we send a petition up to, and up is a relative term. Based on the diagram, we're sending it up to superconscious mind. And superconscious mind reviews the petition. Remember, the superconscious mind knows who we are, understands the conscious and the subconscious mind, knows divine intelligence, and is aware of all aspects. So it reviews the petition for cleaning, makes any adjustments, and forwards it on, shall we say, to divine intelligence. What happens next is divine intelligence says, they've accepted 100% responsibility and they're initiating a cleaning. So let's clean those memories. Let's transmute them. So divine intelligence sends mana, not the mana from the Bible, mana in Hawaiian, which means a purifying energy, sends that purifying energy or purifying light down through the superconscious mind, through the conscious mind. It goes into the subconscious mind, and the memories, the offensive memories that are the cause of the problems, are then neutralized, transmuted back to 0. And we then return to the state of void, which is our milliseconds of connection to the divine intelligence or to divine creator. And from here, we are then in that state of inspiration until another problem comes up. And that, my friends, is self-identity through Ho'oponopono in a nutshell. So, do I have any questions about that? Has everybody seen that diagram? Okay, good. For those of you that I can see. Pat, have you seen that diagram before? No? Okay, thank you. I know Leslie has, Linda has. Sherry Louise, have you? Okay, wonderful. All right, so any questions? Just raise your hand or feel free to request to be unmuted and I will be happy. Priscilla, thank you. I appreciate that. I will share them. Actually, Priscilla, you're in the Heart Healers Ho'oponopono Community Facebook group. They are there under files. It is a downloadable file. You can also download it in multiple languages from the IZI LLC website. I'll share that information in the email that I send you all after this class. I'll do my best to send it tonight, both that and a downloadable copy of the, oh, bless me, the who's in charge document. My brain just went. Jerry, thank you for sharing. You've not seen the diagram. Jerry, I don't remember if you're in the group. I think you are, and if you are, it's in there. But as I said, I'll send it in an email. So tell me, does this make sense? Shirley, go ahead. Asked to unmute. Good.
Yeah, I had a question. I screenshotted the diagrams.
Okay.
I kind of follow along, but is there some place that written exactly kind of what you said?
It is. That's why I want to share that document with you. It's called Who's in Charge? And there is what I highly recommend is in that document, which is why I like to recommend it to everyone. You're welcome, Tracy. David, thank you. I'm grateful to know that you've seen the diagrams before. My brain. The last two pages, Shirley, what Ihaleakala Hew Len thought would be really helpful was to have each component of self-identity through Ho'oponopono and Ho'oponopono speak to you, telling you what it does. So you're getting it, is that third person or it's like, or first person, as if it's talking to you. I am Ho'oponopono. So like, for example, I don't choose to memorize anything. So I have no problems looking at it and reading it to you, right? So a good one is, what is self-identity, right? So he says, self-identity, I am composed of 4 elements: divine intelligence, superconscious mind, conscious mind, and subconscious mind. My foundation, void and infinite, is an exact replication of divine intelligence. And so there's an explanation for everything you can think of. You know, what is a problem? What is a memory? Right? What is superconscious mind? What is conscious mind? What is subconscious mind? What is divine intelligence? And so much more. What is a problem? I love this. Let me read that one too. That's also a really good one. So a memory, we'll do that one first. A memory, I am memory. I am a record in the subconscious mind of a past experience. But we don't know where that past experience came from, right? When triggered, I replay past experiences. You know the expression, there's nothing new under the sun, you know, everything's just being recycled. This to me speaks to that. Like there's no original thought really. Somebody else has had that thought, right? But it's new to us. And a problem, I am problem. I am a memory replaying a past experience again in the subconscious mind. Okay. There was something that this triggered that I wanted to share with you. What was it? I can't remember. Oh, right. Okay. So when we think about that connectedness, right, and we're thinking of problems, we're doing our best to understand problems. Especially when we take into consideration the ancient Hawaiians who believed that they came in to atone for everything that came before them. If we are comfortable with the concept that we're connected, right, we easily recognize this connection when we think about genetic diseases, the link to past generational parts of our ancestry, right? Well, why not expand that understanding to we are a matrix of light, each of us, the body is but one layer of it, our emotions are in another layer, our thoughts and beliefs in another, and so many more layers of who we are, that we are infinite in our soul essence, and that energy holds the memory of everyone that came before us. And it holds the memory of not just their genetic information, but their experiences, their feelings, their thoughts. Can you imagine eons of ancestry and all of that in our subconscious mind in some way, shape, or form? How can we possibly know the all of what our problems are? I think it's naive to think that we can, and yet most of us do. And as a result, it creates so much suffering for us. And as a nurse, you know, I am a caregiver. I am a nurturer. I want people to not be suffering if they don't want to suffer. And so when Ho'oponopono came to me as a course of study for me, and believe me, I needed it for me, right? It was such a gift to be able to receive that I was to share it with other people. And my initial thought was, who the hell am I to teach this? But, you know, I think that as teachers, what we know is that our level of understanding, especially if we are a channel and we bring wisdom in from the other realms in the way that we teach, that anything that we're guided to share with others for their betterment is okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. The technology doesn't have to be perfect. None of it does. But the more people that know this simple process, I think supports humanity in coming into its heart more. And I think that it will very much be part of how we survive as a species, to be honest with you, because we really need help. We do. I think we're struggling. There are so many people that are awakening to their hearts, and I'm so grateful. The difference in how it feels on this planet between 1994 and now is miraculous. But it isn't. It's just an energetic dynamic that as the love, as the vibration of the planet increases more and more, it helps all of us to wake up to our hearts and to experience the all that is, shall we say, right? And to experience life and relationships and problems, dare I say, from a very different perspective, right? Because this is really all about perspective. Right? If we see problems and we keep doing the same old thing, what is it? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome, right? So Ho'oponopono to me is an answer for that, right? We don't need to keep doing the same things over and over again that are causing us suffering. We can choose to do it differently, right? So, all right, so let me just see if there's anything else that I wanted to cover tonight. I think we've gotten a lot done. All right, any questions about anything that we've covered so far? Because I want to go over cleaning statements and 4 applications And then I want to share something with you, and then we can go to more Q&A if there are any. Okay. No questions? Okay. All right. So I want to go over the 4 applications of Ho'oponopono based on my understanding of it. And the 4 applications are, first is doing continuous or incessant Ho'oponopono. Hew Len would say that we could do Ho'oponopono 24/7 for the rest of our life, and we won't be finished. So we do as much as we can. We don't go into guilt or shame or judgment because we're not doing it enough. Even if something is bothering us, we're experiencing a problem, that doesn't mean that we've done anything wrong or we're not doing it enough. But we can choose in that moment to clean more. And what that might look like is incorporating it into the day-to-day way that you are being. You know, sing it in the shower or say it in the shower, right? Or when you're going to the bathroom, or when you're cooking dinner or breakfast, or making your coffee or tea, right? Or having a snack, or driving in the car, or before you have a conversation with someone, especially someone that you tend to have a little bit of a challenge in the communication with them, or before you pick up the phone. There are innumerable ways that we can apply the Ho'oponopono process in order to enhance our lives and make it so much more peaceful, right? So that's 1, incessant Ho'oponopono. 2 is anything in the moment that doesn't feel good, we can choose to clean on that. Now, when I say we can choose to clean on that, I mean, we can say, whatever this is, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, or thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, or I love you, thank you, whatever feels inspiring to you, or I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or those phrases in any order that you want. So let's say your big toe hurts, you know, whatever the cause of my big toe hurting is. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You know, and if you like to do energy healing, put your hands on it, right? Or send energy through your heart to that part of your body and just say, you know, thank you, divine creator. Thank you, God. Thank you, great spirit. Thank you, whatever you call your creator. Thank you for transmuting this all. I love you. 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 I love you until it shifts. Or there's an emotion that you're feeling, like somebody cut you off of the interstate. And your first emotion is going to be what? Likely anger, but underneath that is fear that that person was going to hit you, and thank God they didn't, right? But either way, it's an emotion that doesn't feel good. So anything in the moment that doesn't feel good is up for cleaning. So whatever this emotion is, and you don't even need to label what it is, whatever this emotion is. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, love you. Thank you for clearing it. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Those 4 phrases are a great mantra for meditating, by the way. You know, just sitting quietly, you can listen to music in the background and just think. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. It's very hypnotizing. Okay. And every time you're saying it, you're initiating the cleaning of whatever serves your highest good, unless you've decided to focus it on something. Okay. So anything physical, emotional, mental, spiritual in the moment that you're realizing could be thought patterns that are driving you crazy, the same thoughts that are going over and over and over again. They're less than loving. They're probably self-critical or self-judging, and they're driving you crazy. Whatever these thoughts are, I love you, 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 in the moment until it shifts, and then you start again. And the other thing that I invite you to do while you're thinking it is to breathe into and out of your heart center, because that elevates your energy frequency almost immediately, literally within seconds, which also helps on a different level to transmute the energy that is offending, that is the problem. And the thing about Ho'oponopono is you don't have to mean it when you say it. You could be pissed at something, right? And you don't have to wait until you calm down before you start saying it. You can say it being really angry. It doesn't matter. just keep initiating the cleaning, because by doing it, even if you're really angry, you'll eventually shift. The more you do it, the more quickly you'll shift. And this I promise you, because this I have experienced, and I think a lot of people in the membership community have experienced it as well. Linda, can you attest to that? Would you raise a hand? And yeah. And Kirby, are you still here? Would you agree that that is often the experience? If you can unmute, I don't know if you can unmute. Can you? Here, ask to unmute. Maybe she can share as well. Until she can unmute.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Would you
Love
agree, Kirby?
technology. Yes, I completely do agree.
Okay, thank you, sweetie. I appreciate
Of
that.
course. Yes,
Okay.
this is a very wonderful and powerful tool.
Thank you, honey. Yeah, Kirby and Linda are both in the membership community. They're both, Kirby's been in a little bit longer than Linda, I think, but they are both very devoted to this process and have really experienced some amazing shifts and changes. Maybe they'll be willing to share a little bit before we complete. But let's go back to the 4 applications. You don't have to if you don't want to. I know Kirby will feel comfortable doing that. It's okay. Okay, so the third application, so we have incessant ho'oponopono. The second one is anything in the moment that doesn't feel good. The third application is what I like to refer to as creating a proactive list of whatever you're identifying as a problem that you want to consciously work on. For me, that's my migraines. Right, I'm working on it with Ho'oponopono and with homeopathics, with a homeopathic physician. I've had them since I was a teenager, right? I remember the first one that I had, and slowly but surely they're getting less and less, because not only am I cleaning on it, but I have a community of people that is helping me to clean on it. So there's added energy to support each of us in the community to clean on these, whatever we're identifying as a problem. So what that looks like, if you want to create a proactive list, is you consider what your problems are. And Linda, thank you for your, I understand. Okay. And so we think about what our problems are. Like I have my migraines. Maybe it's about financial abundance that you want to create or clear whatever is limiting the consistent flow of financial abundance in a certain amount to you. Maybe it's a different type of physical symptom or dis-ease. Maybe it's on a relationship issue with a partner or a spouse or a parent, which is what I did when I first started. When I first started, the issue for me was I couldn't stand up straight for about a week, and I had vertigo. And when I first applied this, after I started studying it, in an hour, that back pain was gone, and that particular back pain has never come back. What came out of me in terms of emotion in that hour, just going to whatever memories are in me that are the cause for this back pain. And I had my hands on my mid back where it was. And I just said, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I don't know what I did to cause you, but thank you for releasing it. Thank you for letting go. I release you. I release you. Anything that came to me that I felt guided to say. And I cried and I wept, and sounds came out of me. If you've ever had a deep emotion, you know, any kind of like a grief, a deep grief emotion, you know what I mean by that, that sound that emanates from you that you don't know what it all means. You just know that it's significant for you. And all that was connected to that back pain, and it was gone in an hour. And I said, if I can do that, I'm going to work on my relationship with my mother, because my mother was a person who came from a very abusive household as a child. Her mom died when she was 17. I believe it was her father that was the most abusive, but that generation doesn't like to share too much. And both my parents have transitioned to spirit now. And I decided, I had PTSD from childhood. I'm going to work on that and my relationship with my mother. I don't know how much longer she's going to be here. What can I do? I don't know. I'll see what happens. So I had no expectations. And that's an ingredient that I invite you all to consider. Have no expectations to outcome, because you don't know how long it will take and you have no idea what it's going to look like. Ihaleakala Hew Len would say, just keep doing the cleaning, just keep doing the cleaning, just keep doing the cleaning. Right situations, right people, right circumstances, right money, right relationships will show up for you. And you don't know what that's going to look like. So if you have an expectation, you may miss the way it's supposed to look for you and think that it's not working when indeed it is. And it's God time. So you really don't know how long it's going to take or what serves your highest good. So detach from outcome. Just keep trusting and knowing that when that critical mass of cleaning is complete, you'll start seeing a change. So I did a cleaning statement for my mom, and I said, to whatever memories are in me that are the cause for my mom's suffering, because I figure her abusive behaviors were representative of her suffering. On any and all levels that I am to atone for, because whenever we're cleaning on behalf of someone else, we always add the phrase that I am to atone for. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or just I love you, or just thank you. So I know I interrupted the language, but this is the cleaning statement format. To whatever memories are in me that are the cause for, fill in the blank, with the problem. On any and all levels, put in parentheses that I am to atone for. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or just I love you, or just thank you. And in 4 months' time, what I noticed was all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, I really shouldn't language it that way. There was a gradual shift in how my mom's behavior was. It was subtle at first, but at almost a 4-month mark of doing this, first thing before I opened up my eyes, last thing as I closed my eyes, I asked my inner child to do the cleaning for me 24/7 because I can't do it 24/7. Loved on her to do it that way for me. I did as much as I could. And at that 4-month mark, we were moving my mother into an assisted living facility. And she was sitting in the middle of the main room on her walker. And my immediate family were all unpacking stuff before the furniture came the next day. And my mother said, can I have everybody's attention? And of course, being respectful children and grandchildren, we did. And my mother said, I just want to say thank you. I never could have done this without all of your help. My mother doesn't communicate like that. She just doesn't. And what she said after that was really, to me, the most significant statement that I will ever hear her say, that brought tears to my eyes. And it was with this statement that I knew that the Ho'oponopono was working. And it was, I just want you all to know how much I love you. Not my mom. My mom just couldn't say those words. And so these are the reasons why I'm so passionate about sharing this with you and why I'm so grateful that you're here. Because if just one of you adopts this process to whatever degree you do, you will be helping all of us and adding to the love and the peace that supports all of humanity. And so I'm very grateful. So the 4 applications are incessant Ho'oponopono, when you have something that doesn't feel good in the moment, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. Create a proactive list of cleaning statements of the things that you want to focus on. Don't overwhelm yourself. And 4 is when you want to clean on behalf of someone else. But hear me. If you are cleaning on behalf of someone else, you are not cleaning it from them. You are only focusing on cleaning the memories from you that are replaying, that are memories replaying, that are telling you that that person has a problem. It's all about us. Leslie, you're welcome, honey. I'm so grateful that you were here. Thank you, thank you. All right. Questions on anything that we've talked about so far? Either everybody's asleep, Shirley, yes, a question, please. Thank you.
I've always got questions.
No, and you know what? That's what I love. I love questions because it helps to, especially in a group gathering. That's why I love our weekly support groups or support sessions for the membership, because one never knows when one person asks a question, how that's going to help somebody else in the group or what kind of conversation it's going to spark. So please, thank you.
Yeah, so my question was the cleaning statement, like to whatever memories are in me, that one that you just said, is
That
that
are the cause for.
yeah, the cause for
Fill in the problem, fill in the blank.
oh, here it is, for the problem on any and all levels that I am to atone for. I love you, I'm sorry. So that you can use for anything.
Yep.
Now,
Absolutely.
I just want to ask this.
Mhm.
This is something that's a profound thing that happened to me when I very first heard of Ho'oponopono. I can't even say it, but
It's okay.
I heard about it on some radio show I was listening to, and I, for some reason, wrote down "I love you." I wrote down those things, and I, at that time, was having a mysterious pain in my right side that went on for a year, and nobody knew what it was. I had all these tests, and I knew they weren't going to find anything. I just knew it was some kind of energetic thing. But one night, in the middle of the night, I woke up like bam, and I had so much anger. I could feel in my body, just so much anger that I thought I was going to explode.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like, what is wrong? You know, what's going on? And all of a sudden, I love you. That came to my mind. I was desperate because I was in so much agony
Right.
that, and I knew, I was like, this cannot be all my anger. There's no way. So I
Mhm.
just kept saying this over and over and over and over and over out loud. And all of a sudden appeared to me this line of women
Ooh.
just appeared to me as I'm lying there, and I'm like, oh my God. And the first one was my mother, and then her mother, which I never knew her. And then the rest were like a whole lot of women and dressed in more ancient clothing. So I know
Mhm.
this has something to do with the ancestors.
Absolutely.
So I just kept saying it over and over and over. And all of a sudden, my grandmother steps it up, just comes out.
Mhm.
The rest of them dissolved.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay. So I just kept saying this over and over to her
Mhm.
and saying, I don't know why I'm saying this to you. And then she starts crying and thanking me. I mean, I was like in tears by now,
Right. Right.
over and over and over and over. And then all of a sudden, she vanishes and my pain left. It just
Was
went.
this pain
I
on the
went
right
to sleep.
side? Did you say the pain was on the right side?
Yeah.
Was it right under your rib cage?
No, it was in my abdomen. It was kind of like where my appendix scar was.
So it was lower?
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
want
it
to
would
say,
go to the back and stand up, you know.
yeah.
And all I knew about her was horrible stuff. I
Mhm.
never heard anybody in our family say one thing nice about her. How
Mm.
mean, how judgmental. So, and all of that I could feel from her. Like she was so terribly sorry. It was just hurting me to feel this. And that's when I knew, for some reason, I was chosen by somebody or some entity to do this. Like I could do this.
It's a karmic agreement, Shirley. It's a
Yeah.
karmic agreement. And the fact that you said yes and accepted it is a gift. This is what we mean when we talk about the far-reaching benefits that Ho'oponopono can offer, particularly for our ancestral tree, because not everybody is going to be aware of their ancestors and have an experience profound as you had, where you have a gift of that connection. But we all have the ability to be able to have that experience to benefit our ancestors, whether we experience it the same way that you do or not.
I mean, I was just like, well, always pay attention to anything you hear that catches your attention,
Right.
because it's like a message,
You
a
never
divine
know.
message. Because I'm like,
Right.
totally, I was just winging it because I had no clue. And I just was like, boom, say this over and over and over and over. I probably said it thousands of times. It was like hours by. And I was always like, I don't know what this is.
Right.
And I would ask people, and some woman said, has something to do with, you were chosen person. You have somehow broken the mold of your family, and
Right.
which is true. And now this was part of what your agreement.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I'm glad I knew the tools, but so thank you
beauty
for
of,
helping me with that.
Oh, you're welcome. Because Ho'oponopono can address and does address ancestral issues, that is one of the reasons why it is such a powerful tool for now, because so much of the social ills that we are experiencing in humanity right now are linked to our ancestry. Whether it's addiction of any kind at all or abuse issues, they're all ancestral in origin. And so many people like you made a contract on soul level that this stops with me. Now, how this stops with me is going to be different for each person, right?
Right.
But thank you, Shirley, for sharing that. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
I'm just grateful to finally, I'm like, when I started hearing you talk about the end, I was like, oh, I bet you'll be able to have some answers for me. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I want you all to know that this is a passion and a joy to be able to be here with you tonight. I also want to invite you, if this spoke to you, and if establishing a daily Ho'oponopono practice and being part of a community would speak to you, the membership in the Heart Healers Ho'oponopono membership community will be open in the morning, if I can get my technology to work, for the next 3 days. And it is very reasonably priced for approximately $10 a week, and you can pay monthly or yearly. You can be a part of this community. And just like this conversation was tonight, you can experience this on a weekly basis to support you in utilizing Ho'oponopono as a tool to address anything and everything that you're identifying or experiencing as a problem, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. Included in the membership is a lot of different things, and it is constantly evolving based upon the needs of the community and the suggestions of the community. We have a membership site. All of the sessions are recorded and they are accessible to everyone in the site. You can watch any of them. They come with transcripts. And if you'd rather read than listen, they're also searchable videos. So if you wanted to search to see if a video had one specific theme in it, you could find that out until you found the right video that you wanted, instead of having to watch a whole video to see what it was. That is what Searchy.io is all about. It is such a heart-centered community. I refer to everyone as a heart healer, because to me, doing this work is healing our hearts and healing the hearts of all of humanity, as well as Mother Earth and all that we share this planet with. So you get an introduction to Ho'oponopono class that you can replay as many times as you want. In fact, there are 2 of them there. There are numerous additional media resources that you can access at your leisure whenever it's convenient for you. As I said, we meet once a week. Plus, we do a monthly gathering for the Facebook group that everyone is always invited to. And there's a little bit of a different theme each time, but we go over the basics to Ho'oponopono each time. And so on and so on and so on. So if this speaks to you, I will put a link in the email that I'm going to send out tonight, which will take you to the page where you can enroll. If the pricing does not work for you because of COVID and it's been a really challenging time, please don't let that stop you from joining us. Reach out to me privately and we will come up with an agreement that will work for both of us. I want this to be available to everyone, and I'm excited to have the group grow and expand and for us to do more. The other thing that the community does, and maybe Kirby will talk about this if she wouldn't mind, is we also have basically community support for cleaning for each of us. Would you like to share what you love about the group and mention that?
I would, Eileen. Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
it's such an honor to be with this group and to learn at the foot of Eileen's knee. I love this. It's so wonderful. And when I joined, I was struck by not only the complete theory of the ancient Hawaiians of make it right. You know, that's the whole theory, is that we are clearing and cleaning to make it right. I began to listen to a podcast which caught my interest, and I brought it forward in the group, and I wanted to know if it would be something we could do as a group, as a community, to help with these heartaches that I kept experiencing as you know, as part of our daily life now. And so it was so wonderful. Eileen immediately said, we can do this. You know, this is part of what we can do. And it just, I felt the expansion, and I really felt like this is why I'm here. This is why I joined this group. I wasn't sure in the beginning of how I actually made my way into the group, but I figured this is it. This is why, and this is my pleasure and my fulfilling time that I have on earth to contribute what I can do. And with all of you, we can do so much. And we have done much with the individuals in the group as well as the community. When the hurricane came, Ian, it was so frightening. And so I know not all of you are from Florida, but we, you know, Eileen just opened her heart to us, and it was such a comfort and such a powerful thing that we can use this old ancient tool to what the current events are going on right now, which badly need our love and attention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I thank you for letting me say that. It is heartfelt, and I do love you.
I love you back, Kirby. Thank you. And this was the phraseology that is our community statement to work with. To whatever memories are in me that are a cause for the grief of the parents, children, teachers, and all beings affected by the Marjorie Stoneham school shooting, for which I am to atone, I ask God to clear, clean, and transmute these memories across all levels of time, space, and dimensions. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. These are our community, our individual and community cleaning statements. And every day, as inspired, each person can choose to participate in this or not. You can literally run your finger down the page and go, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And you're cleaning on all of it. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Remember, you don't need to have a cleaning statement. If you have the thought in your mind that God knows our hearts, this is a conversation with our Creator. It is an all-knowing presence, right? So you are welcome to join us if it speaks to you. I look forward to hearing from whomever has questions about it, or that we'll be able to see you in our weekly sessions if that speaks to you. If are there any other questions? If not, we'll go on with our next, we'll close up with our ha breath and then do the peace of I. And then wish you a good night.
I have a question.
Yes, Pat, go ahead.
Apologies. I've had a couple of crises this week, so I'm actually in my car. I wasn't planning on this. And my phone's
Okay.
gonna very soon. I just wanna, can you quickly go over when you're praying for others, and specifically for me, I pray for my son who's struggling with some very serious issues, and he's
Okay.
close. So I know I pray for me and I ask for forgiveness and whatever I have to do with that. But can you expound on it a little more, because I was distracted. I even
No
went and got,
worries.
I even
No
went and got,
worries.
okay. And
The-
also you can ask your inner child, your little child, to work for you 24 hours.
24/7.
Okay.
And we can go over these things in the community, right? So these are part of the kinds of questions that people ask, Pat, that we can go over more in depth each week as people are coming up with issues or questions, or they're looking for a different way of doing something. There is no, as I said, there is no one way to do this. You know, these are based on my studying. These are what I share is my perspective on it. In answer to your question, you are never cleaning for your son or from him. You are only cleaning or initiating the cleaning of the memories that are in your subconscious mind that are the cause for your son's suffering, for your son's problems, whatever they are. You can be as specific about it when you create a cleaning statement, or you can be as general, like I was with my mother, where I said, to whatever memories are in me that are the cause of my mother's suffering on any and all levels, because who am I? I don't know the all of it.
Right.
And even if she did share with me why she turned out to be such an abusive person, right? It still wouldn't tell me everything, because we will never know the all of it, right? So when you in the moment are having a thought about your son and it's angst, you're concerned about him, just whatever this feeling is, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, or I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Or if you wake up in the morning and you want to really focus on this, you want to do the cleaning to see if you can create a shift for him, with him. Keep in mind, as I said before, don't be attached to the outcome, be the observer only. Keep focusing on initiating the cleaning of the memories from your subconscious mind that are the cause for whatever you're seeing as a problem for him. That's all you need to focus on. To whatever memories are in me that are the cause for this behavior, to whatever memories are in me that are the cause for his suffering, to whatever memories are in me that are the cause for whatever you're experiencing.
Okay.
This is not an uncommon theme in our community. Not at all. Okay. We have people in our community that have children and grandchildren, and they are cleaning on ancestral patterns so that the grandchildren don't carry it on with them. You know, we have a member that has a son that has addiction issues and legal issues, and he's struggling. And we as a community, whenever there's a crisis, we gather. When she lets us know about it, we gather, and everyone that wants to will do the cleaning. And what that looks like, Pat, is we are initiating the cleaning of whatever memories are in us that are the cause for the situation that he's experiencing, or the situation that she's experiencing as his mother. If someone has a physical manifestation of dis-ease, that can be one of the things that are on the cleaning list. Everyone chooses what they want to work on.
Thank
Did that
you.
answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm just ready
You are worthy and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Rajani, I welcome you. We are almost complete, but I'm grateful that you're here.
I'm so sorry. I just got the I just remember that I have to join. Thank you for allowing me to join.
Of course, we're grateful to have your energy. We'll just kind of surround you with some love. We're almost complete though, so please reach out to me. Did you have any specific questions that you wanted to ask tonight?
Yes. My question is, okay, like I'm experiencing one episode over and over, and I attended the basic one class, and so I'm keep on saying that I have to think about the problem, and I have to say that I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, or I just do it generally to my soul.
You know, the basic one class goes over the, I'm going to share my screen real fast. I'm not going to go over it all with you, but I'm going to share it with you. Do you remember these diagrams from the basic one class, Rajani?
Yes, I remember this.
Okay, right. So this is, whoops, hello. So we have
Hello?
the state of void, right?
Yes, correct.
And state of inspiration, and then the problem solving process, right?
Exactly, yes, correct.
Okay, so when we consider how we are addressing it, it's based on our own inspiration. We can, I just went over the, I like to think of it as 4 applications, right? We can either do incessant Ho'oponopono because there will always be something to clean.
Okay.
Right? Or we can clean on something in the moment that is a problem to us physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually.
Yes, correct.
We can create a proactive list of things that we want to address with Ho'oponopono or self-identity through Ho'oponopono, and repeat those statements as many times as we can, directing them either to our inner child, to the Unihipili, right? Or to our creator. Some people think of the Ho'oponopono phrases as being a conversation with our creator.
Right.
Because it's divine intelligence or our creator that's doing the transmutation.
Right.
Some people suggest that we speak to our inner child, who is in charge of the memories replaying from the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Whatever you feel inspired to do. I like to imagine my inner child. She's about 4.5 years old. She's me at 4.5 years old. Not everybody images their inner child in the same way. And I talk to her. I say, I need your help. I need you to do this 24/7. I can't while I'm in a body and human. Please help me. I love you. Please help me. Thank you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. 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 I mean, I am always walking around saying, I love you. 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 That's my incessant Ho'oponopono. And I solicit her.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I understand this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And the other thing, Rajani, is that you have the Ho'oponopono 12-step process that you learned, right? And so you can do that every day as well. I don't teach that, so my community is not familiar with that.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Because I've only done the basic level of that, and I'm not a certified instructor, so you're only permitted to share so much. I share what's public knowledge, you know, or what Ihaleakala Hew Len had shared or written in books, or what's on YouTube, right?
Right, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Elena.
My joy. Please, are you in our Facebook group, Rajani? I don't remember.
I think after this I will go and join your group. Yeah.
Okay. You're in the cleaning group? You're in the Ho'oponopono cleaning group. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the cleaning group.
Yeah, please feel free. And in that group, you can always post a question and I will be happy to respond to it. And I also invited everyone, my membership community enrollment is open. And if that's something that speaks to you, I'll post something in the group about that tomorrow. It'll be open for the next 3 days. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, my joy. Thank you so much for joining. Does anybody else have any questions before we do our next ta breath and then close with the peace of I? You all have been so patient. This was much longer than I thought it was going to be. Thank you so much for hanging in there. So now we're going to do our 7 breath ha sequence again. Our first 2 fingers connected to our thumbs and then interconnect, which creates that infinity symbol. You can just rest those finger mudras on your lap, uncross ankles and knees, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing into the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, breathe out for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7. That's 1 breath. Repeat that 7 times. Begin. Thank you. The peace of I. Peace be with you, all my peace. The peace that is I, the peace that is I am. The peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you, my peace I leave with you. Not the world's peace, but only my peace. The peace of I. And just take a breath. Thank you, everyone. I will send you all an email tonight with some of the resources that we talked about tonight so that you have them all in one place. Come join the Heart Healers Ho'oponopono Facebook group if that speaks to you. There are 3 membership questions. Please remember to answer all 3. And you will be welcomed with open arms and an open heart should you decide to join our membership community, which I hope you will. It will bring me great joy to be able to support you in this way. I surround you with love. I love you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eileen. Thank you.
You're
everybody.
welcome. Have a good night, everybody. Blessings.
You too. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank
Thank you very
you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, thank you. Thank you.